Welcome back. Whatever time it is, wherever you are, I'm glad that you found this time to sit on your mat. Find a nice seated position where you're sitting on something either cross-legged or your heels, you're sitting on your heels or sitting on something so your hips can sit up just a little higher. It's okay. So you can feel your sit bones or your butt bones firmly on something. This allows you to then drape the hands on your thighs. And there's nothing to see, so let the eyes go ahead and close. Begin to observe where you can soften muscles. Now the brain is going to trick you and try to tell you gotta fidget or do this or fix the hair or the place or this or that. Rather than react, simply observe. And as you start to feel the natural, soft stacking of the spine, feeling the back of the neck, not only lifting a little, but also widening. This practice is not about what you can do with your body, putting it in different places. It's about letting go of all that chatter and simply listening to your breath. So in this beautiful, soft place of stillness, from deep in the bottom of the lungs, allow this first inhale to come in a little slower, a little fuller than before, growing a little bit. That teeny space before you begin the exhale, staying tall, pushing it out through the nose. The arms stay heavy. This time, fill up even more, even slower. Feeling the front of your back ribs, and at the very top this time, hold it for a heartbeat. And as you stay tall, open your mouth like you're fogging your sunglasses, let it all out. Not something I do in public classes anymore. Slow, deliberate inhale, expanding the front, the sides of the body like a balloon. Once again, no one can hear you, but hold it for a heartbeat. And as you open your mouth, once again, let it all go. Slow inhale. The sound of your exhale, the second most soothing sound your brain can hear. And now let the lips seal. Same inhale as just a moment ago, filling up. And with the mouth closed, pushing that exhale out, you can hear it, maybe even just in your ears. Let that be your focus. Where else can you soften on each exhale? Now, as you feel the roof of the mouth lifting up a little, growing a little taller, let the eyes softly open. Feeling the torso expanding three-dimensionally. And as the eyes stay soft, begin to reach the arms all the way out, 10 fingers involved, reaching out to the sides. And not only feeling the underarms grow, but the upper shoulders and shoulder blades widening a little. Keeping the upper arms where they are, little Masalasana, bend the elbows and bring those fingertips to your shoulders, sort of like a teapot. Now the spine is still long, you're still breathing. So as you exhale, begin to pull the belly and the heart over to the right side. Now the elbows stay high and the spine still long. Turn the belly and the heart a little more to the right, maybe even the eyes. And then you're going to use the entire inhale to slowly, deliberately come back through center. That little pause before you exhale, turn the belly and the heart to the left this time. The neck nice and long, like you're wearing a neck brace. Keep the elbows up. I know you want to drop them, but keep them up and let's move a little. The inhale through center. Twist from the belly and the heart to the right. The inhale back through center. We're all going to be at different speed. The exhale, twist. Now keeping the breath the same speed, start to move a little faster. Where each movement gets a little faster than the one before, twisting from the belly and the heart. And as you start to move really fast, the roof of the mouth still lifting, still breathing. Even faster now. And as you keep the breath nice and even, allow this movement to slow down. Where each one gets a little slower than the one before. Keep twisting at the belly. Until you become even slower than your breath. And the next time you come back from the left side, simply float the hands down to the legs, closing the eyes, and once again, rather than fidget, simply observe. Softening the jaw. Let's keep going. Start with the breath. Letting that be your focus. As you start to walk the hands forward, go ahead and remove anything you have underneath you. And really just transitioning through tabletop so you can set up the knees wide, the toes. You can even walk the hands forward about a handprint. Because as you tuck the toes, you're going to look at your knees and start to lift them up and the hips up as high as they go. Now you can keep looking at your hands or let the head drip down through your arms. Let it get heavy. You're still on your tippy toes. Lift the hips up a little higher. And keep lifting the hips as you slowly bend the knees and bring the heels down to the ground. Or at least toward the ground. Bent knees, heels to the ground. One more breath here because this feels good. Keeping the head wicked heavy. Watch your feet baby step up. And they stay nice and wide until you bend the knees enough where you can bring the palms face up underneath your feet. So really bend the knees as much as you can. You don't want to just stand on your fingers. You're going to miss the good stuff here. Slide those hands as far as they can go. And bent knees, push the balls of the feet into the wrists. Now the head, once again, dangling. Find your breath. Feel the hips lift up a little more. One more breath here.
Gently free your hands. And with the knees bent just enough to know they're bent, keep the chin tucked and inhale, roll all the way up. Sweeping the arms gently up by the ears as the fingers reach to the sky. Find your inner heels lifting, the inner arches of the feet. Now, even though the fingers and arms are reaching up, slide your shoulder blades down your back. And as that neck stays long like a honu, or some of you say turtle, inhale, lift the heels up. And then with the exhale, slowly as it is, bring the heels down. Now if you want to breathe really fast, you can. Inhale, slowly lift the heels up. Slowly lower. Just a handful more. Inhale, lift the outer heels. And lower. Keep going, I know, it's awesome, right? This time as you lift the heels, keep them lifted. And as you soften your face, lift the outer heels, keep lifting. Keep lifting. Now once the palms come together, lower the feet, float the thumbs to the heart, and forget about the hair or clothing, just take a breath here. When you finish that exhale, inhale, sweep the arms up, look what your thumbs look like. As you bend the knees, begin to round forward. Now you're going to bend the knees so much when you round forward, you can bring your fingertips to the ground. Now if you have blocks, use your blocks, that's what you got them for. Whatever their hands are. Lift the right leg up and lift it up really high at first, and then you're going to step it all the way back so you can come down onto that right knee. Now once again, maybe you're using blocks. That's cool. Because you're going to start to bring the hands now up onto your left thigh. Now if you want something under your right knee, put it there. And as you push that knee forward, feel the hips suddenly dropping down a little more. The arms can come to a cactus, and you can tilt the forearms back to open up the heart a little bit more. Feel both lungs expand. And then slowly you're going to bring the hands either to the blocks or to the ground. And with the back toes tucked, gently shift those hips all the way back so that you can start to straighten your left leg. Now maybe the hands and blocks move, that's fine. But rather than being all roundy magoo here, see if you can lengthen and straighten your spine. Maybe bending the elbows a little. Find another breath here. The back of the neck staying long. Start to shift forward, bending that left knee. Sliding the hands back so now you can lift the right knee off the ground. And as you draw the shoulder blades back and down, open up your heart. Find a breath here. And then take your entire exhale to round the back as you straighten the left leg and check out your right toes. Take a breath here. Let's go. Your inhale, take the whole time to bend the left knee, lift and open the heart. Your entire exhale, different than mine, straightening the leg, tucking the chin. 3 more. Inhale. Fluid exhale. Now this last time as you straighten the left leg, keep it straight as best you can. And maybe slide the hands back and the blocks back so you can really, once again, lengthen your spine. Maybe bring the forearms to the ground. Probably not, just take a breath here. Deliciously bend the left knee. Now both legs, they're good and warm, so bring your hands up to your left thigh. If you want, you can bring your hands to your hips and have them sink down a little bit more. But then so the arms have something to do, like in the beginning, reach the palms straight out to the sides. Find an inhale to straighten the left leg. The exhale, slow as it is, bending the left knee. Just two more. Inhale. And exhale. Getting smarter. Inhale. Now this time as you bend the left knee, keep it bent. And start to bend the right knee, but don't bring it all the way down to the ground. How cool is this one? I saw it on Jack LaLanne last night. Take one more breath. And then let that right knee finally come down to the ground. Oh, thank goodness, right? Sweep the arms up. And once the palms touch, land your right elbow on your left thigh. Now before looking over to that side of the room, take a gander down at your big left toe and line up your nose and spine with the inner foot. If you'd like, you can lift the right knee off the ground, but there are no prizes if you do. As you look at the big left toe, lengthen the spine, and then the twist, like in the beginning, the belly and heart turn to the left. There's a few breaths here, so grow into this. The back of the neck stays long. One more breath wherever you are. And then deliberately bring the eyes and the hands back down, either onto the blocks or the ground, your call. Now the right hand comes flat, either on the block, on the ground, yogi's choice. But your left hand now pushes that left knee forward even more so you can feel it in your hips. Notice how easy it is to lock that right elbow. Bend it. As you push that left knee forward, someone said hip openers. Go ahead and take that left knee over, coming onto the outer edge of your left foot. Your hips are really heavy here as they drop down. Take a moment to turn the belly, the heart, and the eyes up to the ceiling. Notice how open and wide your heart is. Keep it that wide as you slowly drop the head and shoulders down toward the ground. 5 count in. 5 count out. Hipporific. Gently come back up. Bring your left hand inside your left foot and heel toe your foot out enough so that the hands come right under the shoulders like they did in tabletop. When it all feels all right, lift the right knee off the ground. At first, you can move the torso a little forward and back to settle in. As the back of the head stays in line with the spine, maybe you bend the elbows a little. Good stuff. When you're ready, silently step the left foot back. Find downward dog for just a breath. And with a heavy head, watch that left leg lift up. And as it lifts up as high as it can go, bend the left knee and start to roll the left hip over the right. For a moment, feel the inner left knee lift up a little higher. the right lung up all the way. And then you're going to shift forward and bring that left knee onto the ground behind your left wrist. And that's just to set it up. I like to pull my right leg back. And as you start to set up into pigeon, first bringing your hands by your hips, and you want to feel it in your left glute, the butt, the hip. And so maybe your knee goes out a little further, maybe it needs to come in. The shin can come forward or back, that's up to you. But once the hands are up by the hips, a little smile. You're going to walk the hands now over to the right. Maybe lining up your heart with your big left toe. And once that's all good and aligned, now walk the arms forward in that direction, letting the head either come down onto a block or the ground. 5 count in. My head's up so you can hear me. 5 count out. 2 more of those breaths. And then here's the good part, staying right where you are. Let go of your breath. Let go of those muscles, the arms. And rather than react, observe. Now, as the breath comes back to your focus, keep the head heavy, but start to walk the hands slowly back up toward you. If you have a block under your hip, go ahead and remove it and sort of lean onto that left hip. Your right hand brings that right leg all the way around and lands outside your left thigh. Now, if you find yourself leaning over like this and your right butt's in the air, straighten your left leg so you can sit proper like, both sit bones. Or you can keep them bent, your call. Sit up tall like you did in the beginning. And then rainbow that right arm up and behind you. Now, if you have to round to get there, throw a block under that hand. The left hand holds onto the right knee, and just like in the beginning, the belly and the heart turn to the right. Still breathing. The belly and the heart twisting to the right in a non-violent kind of way. And as you keep twisting the body to the right, slowly float your chin over your left shoulder. Use both lungs. Twisty Magoo. One more breath here. And as you begin to realign, remove any things behind you. Walk the hands back behind you so you can sort of lean back. And as you open up your heart, straighten your legs and float them up in line with your nose. Now, if you feel like you're rounded, leaning back, and you're like, oh, this is great, I love this one, really open up your heart. Now you can stay like this. You can come down to your forearms and lift the legs straight up into the air. Find a place up on the ceiling and slowly float the right straight leg down toward the ground and hover it just above the ground. Keeping the legs active, you're going to take your next inhale. Slowly bring the right leg up past the left leg. And then you're going to take the exhale. This time it's the left leg, staying active. And once again, float it just above the ground. Little tuck of the chin. And then inhale, bring it up past the right. Let's try a few, huh? Exhale, bring the right leg slowly down, finish the breath. And then inhale, bring it up past the left. Exhale. And inhale. Just one more each side. Slowly come all the way to your back, bring your knees into your chest and a little hug. As you keep pulling the knees into the chest, start to lift the shoulders and the head off the ground, becoming like a ball. Lift as much of the spine off the ground and begin to roll forward and back. Make sure there's no statue behind you that you roll into. So the feet touch the ground, the shoulders touch the ground. 2 or 3. This time as you come up, cross the ankles, pull them toward you, and then roll onto your tabletop or your hands and knees. Hands come forward a little. As you tuck the toes, look at your knees, lift the hips, the heels up as high as they go. Bend both knees and look forward. Step the left foot up. Step the right foot up. And fold in half. One breath, sweeping you all the way up, the palms touch overhead. And then patiently bring the thumbs to the heart as the eyes close. Just for a moment, simply observe. You have more experience with it than ever before. Use that experience to fire up the breath. It's your guide. As the eyes open, listen to the inhale, sweep the arms up. Hear yourself folding and exhaling all at the same time. As you bend the knees a whole lot, bring the fingertips either to the ground or the blocks. Lift the left leg all the way up. And step it way back. Allow that knee to come down to the ground as your right knee comes over your heel. Put something under your left knee if you want it, but then crawl your hands up onto your right thigh. And use your strength in the arms to push the knees and the hips down and forward a little. That bored look on your face like a high schooler. Keep the action going forward and down, but bring the forearms into a cactus, letting them tilt back as you open up your heart. The transition is as smooth as your breath. The hands come down either to the ground or your blocks. As the back toes stay tucked, start to draw your hips back enough so you can straighten the right leg. Let the hands or blocks come back a little more so you can really straighten up through the spine, the back of the neck like a laser on a shark. And then once again, find the hinge in the elbows, keeping the integrity of the straight spine. You're stronger than you think you are. So slowly bend the knee. The hands come back enough so that when you lift the left knee off the ground, everything feels okay. Your legs are active as you open up your heart. And then the exhale, slowly rounding, tucking the chin, straightening the right leg. 4 more. Your breath. And when you're done, both legs stay straight. Once again, slide the hands or the blocks back so you can lengthen the spine and the neck as long as the line. And once again, maybe those forearms reach to the ground. Good stuff, I tell you. Bend that right knee. You know you're strong. So when you bring your hands to your right thigh, it almost makes you smile a little bit. The arms reach out. But hold on to your thumbs with your fingers and draw the arms way back. Rather than down, back. The inhale straightens that right leg with a little smile. The slow, deliberate exhale bends it. 2 more. Now as you keep it bent, the tongue soft, begin to bend the left knee. Stay with it until it comes down to the ground. Oh, thank goodness, right? Sweep the arms up, let the palms come back together. And this time you're going to land your left elbow on your right thigh. Now before looking over there, make that alignment through your toe and inner foot. You can keep the knee flat or lift it, but the inhale will lengthen the back of your spine. And you know the twist begins at the belly and the heart. And as you breathe into this twist, without moving your head, change where your eyes are looking. It's just fun. Gently come back, right hand on the thigh, left hand either on the block or the ground so you can bend your left elbow. Your right hand pushes the knee and hips forward. And then you're going to roll onto the edge of that right foot. You can look at your foot for a second, but with the left elbow bent, the belly and the heart and the eyes float up to the sky. Even inhale. Even exhale. Now keep the heart big and wide and slowly drop the head and shoulders down toward the ground. Hip openers, love them up. When you're done, slowly come up. Your right hand now comes inside the foot, but heel toe your foot pretty much to the side of your mat so you can bring the hands under your shoulders. And then go ahead, lift the left knee off the ground. Now you can move the torso a little forward and back. From the inner left arch of the foot through the spine and the roof of the mouth, nice and long. Maybe bend the elbows a little, take it a little deeper. 1 more breath here. And avoid dragging your foot, but step back into downward dog. 5 count in. Heavy head, save that energy for later. Lift the right leg up. Lift it up really high. And then as you bend the knee, keep it bent as you open up the hips to the side. Feel your inner right knee lift up a little higher. Fill the left lung up. And then you're going to bring that right knee up onto the ground behind your right wrist. Once again, a little pigeon. Perhaps you slide that left leg back. Maybe the knee comes in or out. And adjust your shin. So once again, you're feeling it down that right side, the outer hip. If you want to block under there, that's cool too. But walk the hands back by the hips for a moment. Grow really tall, pigeon-like. And then walk your hands over to the left. Turning the belly and heart in line with your big right toe, perhaps. And then begin to drape the torso, the arms, and the head down onto the ground. Now, if I stay like that, it would be hard to hear me. But as you settle in here, take 3 distinct breaths. And then staying right where you are, give yourself permission to let go of the breath, the muscles and the unnecessary movement. If it's painful, come out. If it's just annoying, slightly uncomfortable, focus on something else. Because then it all comes back to that even breath of yours. Feeling the front of your back ribs. And the head stays heavy as you start to walk the hands back up. Once again, if you have something under your right hip, go ahead and remove it. And as you lean over to the right side, your left arm brings that left leg all the way around the outside so the foot comes down onto the ground. And once again, if you feel like you're leaning over to the side, it's not going to be any fun. Straighten the right leg. Maybe just straighten the right leg anyway, see how it feels. The left arm reaches up and over. If you need a block under there, put it. Your right hand holds onto the left knee and first grow really tall. The twist, the belly and the heart, with a little help of the arms. Like a wet towel, stay long. And then begin to bring the chin over the right shoulder. 5 count in. 5 count out, twisting the goo. Slowly coming back to center. Once again, the hands come behind you so you can lean back and float those legs up nice and straight, or maybe bent, I don't care. But this time you're going to bring the arms up and forward. Once again, make sure there's not a statue behind you. Now you can hold the thighs, totally cool. But then you're going to come down to your lower back. So the toes and nose still in line. Canoe, we call this one. I do anyway. And then inhale back up to boat. What? Exhale down to canoe. Back up to boat. 2 more. Come back up, a little smile. Cross the ankles, pull them toward you. Land the hands forward, once again transitioning slowly just through tabletop Tucking the toes, lift up. Lift the heels, the hips up as high as they go. And as you bend both knees, look forward. Walk your feet on up. And fold in half. One breath actively pulls you all the way back up. The palms reunite. And then the hard one, as the thumbs come to the heart, close the eyes and let go. Observe everything. Where else can you soften? Now there's nothing to see keeping the eyes closed. So keep them closed. You can visualize the breath expanding the torso like a balloon. Or maybe you spend your time counting the breath. That's up to you. But with the eyes closed and the breath even, begin to lift the left knee into the air. If you're peeking, that's Chitasana. Keep the eyes closed. The breath and even. As you bring the left foot down, remember that if you could do it all the first time, what fun would that be? Find your breath. Trust your breath as you begin to lift the right knee into the air. The sound of your breath will never, ever, ever let you down. When you're ready, bring the foot back to earth. One breath opens the eyes. Your next inhale sweeps the arms up. Enjoy the bending and the folding in half. Once again, come down to the fingertips. Step to the left foot back. Come down to the knee. Step the right foot back. Come down to the knee. And as you bring the big toes together, start to widen your knees. As you start to widen your knees, slowly draw your hips back toward your heels. Even if they don't touch, that's okay. And with the arms just as wide as they've been, let the head drip down onto the block or the ground. So all you feel working is the torso like a balloon. One more breath. As you push into the hands, slowly bring the hips up in line with your knees. And then you're going to grab a blanket or a towel or something. You don't want it too high, but you're going to put it on the right side of your mat, in line with your knees and hips. Coincidence? Not at all. And then you're going to bring your left leg and hand over to meet the right knee and the right hand. They don't want to have anything to do with the left hand, so bring the right hand over to this off your mat and bring your right knee onto that blanket or pillow or whatever. Once again, you don't want it too high because you're going to slide it. Now first, notice your hips and knees in this nice alignment. You're then going to start to slide that right knee out to the side. Now for some of you, The foot is going to be flat down. Some of you, your toe is going to be turned out or turned in. There is no right or wrong here. But the more you slide your right knee further out, you're also going to have to walk your hands over. Sometimes my butt falls back here. Once again, keep them in line with your hips as best you can. And you want to feel it in both sides of your groin. So if you don't, make that adjustment. Now you can stay on your hands. You can bring the forearms down to the ground. But energetically, return to that flat tabletop type of back. Maybe turn the pubic bone toward your nose a little. Now, as you find a handful of breaths here, you can play with this. You can take the torso further forward, see how that affects things. You can take the hip torso back a little and go nasty. 4 more breaths here, whatever you're doing. Pubic bone actively turning toward your nose. By request, final breath. Now, if you're on your forearms, you're going to come back onto your hands. You're going to slowly start to bring that right knee, sliding it back until it can come back onto your mat. Walk the hands back onto your mat as you separate the knees, returning once again, transitioning through tabletop. You can cross the ankles. You can roll onto one hip or the other. But go ahead, roll back, and bring those legs out in front. Keep them bent at first. Good thing this is a 3-hour class, right? Come down onto your forearms. I make joke. And then slow as spreading peanut butter on bread, begin to spread your spine, shoulder blades, neck, and head onto the ground. You're still breathing. And as you feel that lower back flat, hold on to your knees. But since the head is on the ground, create a little tuck of the chin. And then last little bit of hip love, begin to circle the knees in opposite directions. And if you find yourself doing the same circles you did last time, make them maybe bigger or smaller. As you stay with that even breath, finish the circle and then keep going in the other direction, the awkward way. Now the face and the muscles in the head are melting. So bring the knees together as a single unit, like they're Velcroed together. And then you're just going to take 2 or 3 circles as a single unit, giving your lower back a little massage as well. Go ahead, spin it in the other direction a couple times. Feeling the lower back, the kidney girdle. When it's about balanced out, let the feet float down to the ground, maybe a little wider than your hips. With your hands, fix any hair or clothing that needs adjusting. But then let the arms melt down by the side enough so you can let a little air into your underarms. Stay with the breath as you start to slide that left heel toward the left corner of your mat. And enjoy the movement as you slide the right leg toward the right front corner. The brain will trick you or try to trick you into fidgeting. You're stronger than you think you are. So take 3 more breaths. And then right where you are, commit to this place as you let go of the breath, let go of the muscles, let go of reacting. Observe. Give yourself permission to let go of that last little bit. As you feel the upward support of Mother Earth, the gentle pressure of the air, recognize how your body feels right now. Like lying on the beach, soaking up the sun. Absorb this feeling into every cell. As the mind stays quiet, begin to notice your natural breath coming back. And as it moves through the body, begin to feel the hands and fingers move a little. The toes and the ankles waking up a little. And being mindful of anything around you, begin to reach the arms all the way to the back. Stretching the toes far, far forward as you fill up like one of those long, skinny balloons. Fill up a little more. And as you open your mouth from the bottom of the lungs, just let it all out. Hold on to this feeling as you bring the knees into your chest and give yourself a loving and well-deserved hug. And it's up to you which side you pick, one side or the other. And then real slowly start to come back up to a seated position.
whichever one works for you, so that the spine can be nice and long. The hands, they can rest on the thighs. You can bring the palms together and feel the thumbs resting on the heart, but also the heart lifting up into the thumbs. With a tuck of the chin in gratitude, taking 3 more even breaths together, exhaling completely. The light and energy inside of me bows and respects the light and energy in each of you. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste. Be kind to one another out there. Smile through your eyes so they know you're smiling.